Are we live again?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of researching something here, so I'm not looking so dumb on the show.
You
gotta go live on the spot.
Right? Good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live from inside the main build facility here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. I'm Tom, and we all know the bastard Bubba. Bubba, what's going on over here?
Man, I'm just I want to make sure that we got this right here, because in the earlier models of the Fords, everybody knows that those things were year to year something was different. And only true purists really know what that difference is. Like 34 had a certain grille design, 35 had a headlight position, 36 had marker lights on it. I have no idea. We're going with 35 Ford.
35 Ford. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 35 Ford that Bub's working on. It's been in here a couple times before. Bub's done a lot of fun stuff to this. You've got it running amazingly well, Bub. It just shows we don't do just the higher end stuff. We also do some of the fun stuff as well. Bub, how's it been for you today?
I got to close in on that real quick. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up for the producer to see it, just so you can see. I wasn't kidding. Like, you truly see there are different headlight positions, there are different marker light positions. The grills went horizontally versus vertically. Some went, going left to right. These are going
all kinds of fun stuff.
Every year had something different. Every year was something different.
Every year was something different. Big shout out to all our sponsors. Monkey in Paradise, the social vodka. Monkey in Paradise reminds you to drink responsibly. Kimberly, I think your monkey's got lost somewhere on the mail.
Twice, I think. Because we're only going to Lauderdale. That's only a day away.
It's gone so viral that the postal people are stealing all the monkeys, bub. How about that?
Hashtag Monkey in Paradise.
Monkey. Hashtag Postal Monkey. Miss Outlaw Boutique, that's MS Outlaw Boutique. Don't forget the 5th and 6th of May, you can go to Miss Outlaw Boutique. Got a great story about that. Miss Outlaw Boutique, you can go there for their glam day, where they will be doing hair and they will be doing glam jewelry, getting you ready for the Sunfest, making sure you look Miss Outlaw Boutique right. And Bub, tell everybody who visited Miss Outlaw Boutique yesterday, because Miss Outlaw is such a unique place to be.
So as cool as it gets, everybody knows it is like the #1 place in, really, I would say, probably a 20 or 30 mile range. There's a lot of boutiques, a lot of the female stores. Her store is the outlaw baddest when it comes to style, to the environment, the atmosphere, the way you can hang out, the music that's playing, the designs in the store, the displays in the store. So sure enough, she had Venus Williams in there.
That's right.
How cool is that?
Venus Williams, the tennis pro, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Miss Outlaw Boutique brings to the table.
That's as good as it gets. I mean, honestly, once you start getting to that level, you think, all of those people, you know how that class is. Like, once you start getting in with this person, then that person hangs with this person, that person hangs with this person, and it becomes a really fun and cool circle. That's something to be super proud of. For somebody who's only been, this is her first business she's owned, she's 4 months hot into this thing, she's already on fire. She's writing fashion in Jupiter magazine.
Yes, she is.
So she's giving tech tips on how to put things together, what to wear, how to accentuate things. Come on.
We are featured in Jupiter magazine along with Miss Outlaw Boutique, the former superstar and the former supermodel there above, who stepped out of her modeling career to do just this. And we're in there with Burt Reynolds as well. Please make sure you check out Jupiter magazine online. Bub, Tony Rienzi, TonyRienzi.com, and we have a high-end Ferrari on the way down from Orlando. You'll be seeing that tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. And Painless Performance. Painless is auto electric done Bubba style. I have a very special guest for you guys, and we're going to be meeting him very shortly. Bub, you were doing a lot of wiring, LED wiring in the Monkey in Paradise R8 yesterday.
I was.
With your painless equipment and your painless cart. You killed it, and you can see pictures of that on our Instagram page. Bub, how do they get there?
So if you guys just go out, if you don't know how to get to our Instagram, you can do one of two ways. You can go to our website at bubbasexoticmotorsports.com. Scroll down, everything is there. Our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of those are on our home page, so you can see them, you can connect with them. They are live on the spot of what's going on. We will literally do these things and they go straight to your phone. Or you can go to Instagram.com/Bubba's Exotic Motorsports to see everything that's getting done on the spot. Those are as live as they are going to get next to these live feeds we do here.
And it's crazy. Wait till you see how beautifully illuminated the engine hatch is on the Monkey in Paradise R8.
Dude, it looked insane.
Oh, Bob, I drove that car yesterday.
You did, and you know what? I'm very proud that you didn't do anything to it. I only let you go from the side of the lot into the main facility, so you only went like 4 feet. Usually that's enough for you to take care of something.
I do have new parts coming out of Schumacher Chevrolet for our brand new Schumacher dually, Bub.
Yeah, it's brand new.
The marker light.
I know, it's brand new. Yeah, literally.
I moved it 5 feet, and it only cost 1 marker light.
And the side of the bed.
So we're repairing that right now as well, ladies
That's a
and
whole
gentlemen.
paint job on the side of the bed. It's not like the older, what was that year range? I would say the Chevy world called it like new body, NBSS, like new body style Silverado, or OBS. It was like a whole thing that people did with them. But I'll tell you, the older body styles, you could paint just the flare for the dually wheel. It was just literally bolted onto a regular bed pickup. Not this one. Nope, we got to paint the whole freaking bed now.
Yep, the whole bed has to be
No
painted.
lines
Something
anymore.
happened to it. I don't know what happened, but something happened to it. And it's funny because Donnie took a picture of it and sent it to me and said, what happened? I disavow any knowledge. And Bub, yesterday you finished all the wiring with the painless people
I did.
on the Monkey in Paradise R8, and you're doing some wiring on this beautiful 35 Bubba Edition Ford with the gas tank and everything. So take us through a little bit. I see you've got everything on your painless card over there. And
Yeah, so, you know, anytime that we do anything, whether it be the older model stuff, we've got, this car is as basic as it gets when it comes to wiring. We have a full Pro Touring build-off set, a 67 Mustang we're doing, that is wiring start to finish, front to rear, inside and out, upside down. It's all over the place, painless, wrapped everywhere. And the reason I love using that stuff is it is all labeled. Everything about it is detailed in a way where if you need a simple wire, even if you're not doing full harnesses, if you're doing an aftermarket audio system, if you're doing aftermarket power windows, a lot of these street rodder guys out there do power windows, power door locks, you know, vintage air stuff. If you are doing those things, you can literally grab that specific wiring that you need and it will be labeled, you know, whether it's accessory on or ignition hot or coil power, gauges, power, dash lights, illumination. Everything is powered, you know, left turn signal, right turn signal, low beam, high beam, ground. They are all labeled and they run a very straightforward color pattern. So every one of those things for like fuel sending units, you know, tan or a pink, depending on whatever application it's for, or your dark green versus your light green for your turn signals, or all the way across the board, Painless runs a true color-coded chart that never changes. It's very straightforward. So once you understand their styling, which is, by the way, most of today's world's color coding, so it matches up and works beautifully, you can move through it very quick.
And one of the things, Bub, you've been with Painless for about 10 years now.
Yeah, very long time.
You have a very special 2 purpose-built carts, only ones like them around.
Yep.
They were built by the original founder of the company, Mr. Dennis Overholser, who sent them into you. These carts are not only a mobile work table for you, but they are a continual sense of electrical supply housing for you as well.
Always, always.
Dennis actually wrote the Bible on automotive electrical, Bub. There's no question about it. You live in that book. You've read it front to back probably 20 times. I see you've got it sitting on your cart right there behind you, even right now, the Hot Rod Wiring book, because you're doing some work on the Ford right here.
Well, of course. I mean, this is a great book. It is truly something that I have read start to finish. I don't know how many times I've done it. I always reflect back to it, even when it's something I've got in the back of my mind and I just want to confirm it. You know, sometimes when you get into this stuff, you start doing, you know, full harnesses on every car. You lose a color. You want to know what it is, you bounce back to the book. Maybe you forget the way a 4-pin or a 5-pin relay works. A brake switch, dome lights on working on a ground circuit. There's all kinds of things that go on in wiring, and Dennis has made that available in this book. This was written back in 2011. You can see I've kept it really freaking clean.
Through that book,
7 years I've kept it pretty solid clean. But I'll tell you what, man, it is a go-to that explains everything on a start to finish, not only on a basic level, so the average person can understand it, a do-it-yourselfer, and also an in-depth with, you know, circuitry and the way things have to connect and the way things work to relay. It gives you all of that in the book.
And one of the things, Bub, you're not a guy who cuts wires and uses butt connectors or anything like
not
that.
at all.
Painless allows you to do the job right 100% every time. I can see on your Painless cart right behind you, you have your torch sitting there, your soldering gun. I can see all of your strippers, because everything, we've talked about this before in previous episodes, you solder everything together, heat shrink it, and then wrap everything very nicely.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, would you get a car from the factory that you just paid $50,000 for, $40,000, $100,000, $200,000? Would you get a car off the showroom floor that has a butt connector?
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't. So you want to make sure you do the job right. You want to solder your joints. You want to make sure your connections are good. Heat shrink everything so it's waterproof, even if it's not even in moisture. I still heat shrink everything on the interior of the car, on the back of the gauges, my ground straps. Ground doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be heat shrunk. It doesn't matter. Why would it have to be? It's It's not going to do anything. It's nothing more than a ground. There's no 12 volt running across it. I still do it to keep corrosion off of it, to make sure that it's never going to corrode and rot away over time, any weather, any atmosphere, it doesn't matter.
And your wiring, Bub, is beautiful. You literally, I see our producer has a question, we'll come right to him. You literally put your wires in the end of a drill, and one of the tips you learned from Painless, and you run that drill and everything's completely tight as it goes in. I saw in the Monkey in Paradise R8 yesterday, you had the sill plate out and you were running everything down the factory fiber optic looms as well.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does it in different ways. You know, every professional, every do-it-yourselfer wires differently. That's the way it is. It's going to be very hard to find two guys who wire the same way. When you do your wiring, I personally always take, especially when I'm spinning up, 10 wires, 8 wires, whatever, and I've got to run a long distance with it. If you try to do every wire at a time, it's going to take you forever. It's going to take you all day, and it's going to be a sloppy mess. It's going to get tangled up. So what I'll do is I literally cut out sections of what I need, 5 feet, 10 feet, 15, 20 feet, however long I'm going.
On the spools, right behind you on the Painless card.
In the colors I need, in the labels I need, so I know exactly what every one of those does, and I can literally take them, put all of those wires together, I clamp them into a vise about 1 inch at the end of them, and then I literally run them straight out, put the heads of those wires, the opposite end, into the front of my drill, and I hold snug and just a low speed, spin those wires in either clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't matter, but you spin them until they literally braid together like braiding a girl's hair. It literally braids the entire harness together, so when you're running 10 wires, 15 wires, a lot of stuff front to rear, which we do a lot of, and it's not a pre-made harness. If you're making your own harness, it's a beautiful way to do it.
What did you think, Bub, when I tried to do it the other day and you just like spokes and cards in a spoke, and you look, and I've got the wires going real fast and it's come off the drill and everything like that?
You were doing 4 wires, but you only had 2 of them for some reason in the drill. You had these other 2 that were just like
it looked like 8 when it was spinning like a propeller, right?
I don't know how you screwed it up. I really don't.
I don't know either.
But I'll tell you, man, it's like yesterday I did the Monkey in Paradise R8. It's a brand new 2017 Audi R8 V10 Plus. It is the top dog. It is the animal of its pack. It doesn't get any better than that.
God dang it.
This is a car that's a world supercar, and we did a very small upgrade, but a very beautiful upgrade. That's all you want to do on these cars. We did a really nice accented LED blue lighting in the engine bay on the strut brace where the X is. You can see that on our Instagram at instagram.com/Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. See it, check it out. It's powered all-time hot, so that when you're out and you're at the car shows or whatever you want to do, these are LEDs. These things draw nothing to run. You can turn them on with the blue LED illuminated switch that I hit underneath of the dash, so you can't tell the car's been modified. Turn them on, walk away, and come back 6 hours later. You still have no problem.
Still have no problem.
And that's today's lighting, man. It takes nothing to run. It's beautiful when it's done. It's clean when it's done right. And that's exactly what we did in that R8.
Bub, real quick, I'm going to take a question from our producer, but first I want to ask you, I hear some people throwing the term around a lot, these car shows. Well, I've got a 6-circuit Painless Performance setup. I've got a 12-circuit Painless Performance. Well, I've got an 18-circuit Performance. What is that?
So that's just all about what your fuse panel is built to do. It's whether or not you're going with a basic universal, like street rod cars. You have to think street rods, T-buckets, rat rods. Man, you don't need much in those cars. Some people don't even go with a full-out fuse panel. They just go with like 6 small little 6 fuse panel distribution block, not something that's solely dedicated to crank, to ignition start, to fans, to headlights, to running lights. You have all of these different fuses. Even when I'm building street rods and doing the most basic of basic, I still always go with a full circuit panel so that I'm allowed to do those upgrades when I want. If you want to put on turn signals in the future, maybe you get tired of driving just a total rat rod and you want to throw in an I Did It column or a Flame River column and then have turn signals. You can wire right in and plug into it. So it's just the amount of circuits on that fuse panel assembly and your future upgrades from there forward, whether you're doing power windows, power door locks, air conditioning, all those wires that you'll want pre-run, ready to go if you build into the future, and I love to build into the future.
You do. You're very good about them. I'm going to bring on a very special guest here in just a moment, Bub, for the world to meet, and I've got a very exciting announcement in bringing him in. But Mr. Producer, did you have a question, sir?
I have to drop something real quick before you even see this, and I didn't even think about this until I was literally standing right here and I just poked my thumb on the front
You
of
mean
this
the
thing.
monkeys all over the grill?
No, not even the monkey. I don't know if our producer can get in on this right here.
That's so hot.
So this is the early model vintage Ford Flathead V8 logo. This was what it was. This is the emblem. Do you realize that that's on the back of my leg?
I do.
With Layla
Show
sitting in it like a martini
Yes,
glass?
Layla is sitting.
Come on.
In the V8 right there.
Look at this.
There's Layla.
I don't know what's going on with it. That was supposed to be, I think, clouds. I don't know, maybe chrome.
Looks good.
Yo, I need to have that redone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Got to do that.
I'm gonna get a cover up.
Mr. Producer, did you have a question, sir?
Robertson Racing LLC would like to know where they can order that book from.
Okay, so Robertson
good
Racing
question.
LLC would like to know where they can get a copy of Dennis Overholser's book,
Hot
which
Rod
is Survivor, Hot Rod Wiring. Robertson Racing, I will ensure that you get a complimentary copy of that from Dennis Overholser himself. I'm going to go ahead and bring on a guest, Mr. Producer, if that's okay. Good with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to announce our longtime sponsor of 10 years, Bub. These people came in when you were really getting out of the box. You had a lot of people chasing you from an electrical perspective. You cut your teeth on painless performance. You've never looked back. I would like to introduce to the world right now the Bible writer, the man who wrote everything about automotive electrical, Mr. Dennis Overholser from Painless Performance. Dennis, please join us here on the set.
Dennis had a long drive too yesterday.
Yes, he did, just to get to it.
Because that's
right.
pulling a big rig. I
That
mean, that's
is.
not anything minor right there at all.
Dennis, welcome.
What's up, Dennis?
Welcome.
How are you?
How is
Doing
everything?
good, guys.
Welcome,
Doing good.
welcome, Dennis.
Yep.
Welcome.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
We go back a lot of years, Dennis. We
Yeah,
go
we do.
back a lot of years.
Yeah.
As you know, Bub cut his teeth with Painless Performance, and you two have been like this for a very long time. Tell us about that relationship.
Well, it was kind of strange. We met at a car show.
We did.
In New York.
In New York,
Yep.
that's right,
Yep.
the Syracuse
Dang, that's a
National.
long time ago.
Our booths were right across from one another.
Yep.
And we got to talking and sharing ideas and so forth, and it just blossomed from there. So there we go.
It's been an amazing relationship.
Yeah.
Bub, talk to us a little bit about why you're specifically dedicated to Painless Performance products. You won't even go to Advanced Auto Parts and buy a roll. You'll pull it from your cart.
Oh, for sure. No, it's quality. It's that simple. I mean, it is, when you consider wiring, there's a lot to wiring that most guys don't really understand. They think it's nothing more than just a piece of wire in your hand and you connect it from point A to point B. That's not it at all. It's literally what gets you every circuit you possibly want. When it comes to audio systems, it's very extreme. When it comes to charging systems, very extreme. When it comes to starting systems, very extreme. Every company out there has perfected it. MSD Ignition knows exactly what their starters and their alternators take to run. PowerMaster knows what theirs take, depending on where your battery location is, whether it's in the front, in the trunk, the size of the cable you need to use, and that's where you want quality product, and that's why I stay with Painless. It's just that simple.
Tell me about your failure rate with any of Painless's products.
Zero.
Never.
Zero.
Fuse is blown.
Zero.
None. See, ladies and gentlemen, it is all about quality. It's about building with the best. Dennis is often seen out on the road. There's some very exciting things going on over at Painless. Talk to us a little bit about some of the great stuff that's happening over there now.
Well, we've been in all the different markets, whether
Yes,
it
you
be
have.
street rod, restorations, or drag racing and whatever. Right now, our biggest market that is blossoming is the four-wheel drive market.
Off-road, yeah.
Off-road stuff. So
Which
we
I've
do-
seen with a lot of like the Jeep JKs.
Oh, yeah. In fact, that's where I'm going tomorrow, is the JK event
down
down in Daytona.
Wow.
So I'll be there for the weekend, and just came back from Moab, Utah for the Jeep Safari up there. So traveling around doing different types of shows and so forth. But so we're developing a lot of new products, for the JKs, TJs, CJs, all those type of things. And we're doing that, as well as we just introduced our new complete retrofit plug-and-play harnesses for the Chevelles.
Wow.
68 through 72.
Yep, 60 to 72.
Yep. So we
And I just used one of those a week ago.
Yes, you
2 weeks
did.
ago.
Yes,
Oh, is that right?
you
2 weeks
did,
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue Chevelle. That's correct. You did, Bub.
Now, let me tell you, the harnessing is really good. The instructions, man, make sure you freaking read them, because it was, I think, 174 pages in that,
Is that what it
just on
was?
that car.
Yeah.
172, which is in depth, with pictures, with details, but dang it, was I tired of reading. It turned
Well,
out
do you ever
beautiful,
get
though.
tired of reading? You're always
Dude,
reading
it was
and
a lot.
researching.
Well, because you're going through, and you get to page like 57, and then you're like, okay, well, there was something that I left out back here because I wanted to read further to make sure I was doing the next step right. So then you're like flipping back, and you're like 30 pages before, and then you keep reading forward again. So I think I read that probably 4 times.
But that's okay.
Maybe 10.
You're well researched. And one of the things you mentioned is the way that Painless documents everything, man. The instructions.
Well, our whole goal, and always has been, have the best instructions in the business. And there's a lot of times that, I'll do some proofreading of something, of one of the manuals or whatever, and I mean, we write it all up, red line it or whatever, whatever we need to do. But because of that is why people that do read the instructions know exactly what they'll do, the product will do, how it goes in, and that's why you have zero defects.
That's why you have zero defects.
Yeah, I mean, it's that simple. With electrical, you can screw it up in a matter of seconds, especially you, this guy. Literally, Dennis, he
Screw
couldn't.
anything up, Dennis, you know that.
Yeah.
It's no secret.
If you ask him to hook up a radio, he's shorting the head unit out right away. So I don't ask him to do anything.
Yeah, if you ask me to put in the stereo, the lights stop working, right?
Somehow,
Something
some way.
like that. Exactly.
But
absolutely.
I mean, that's really it. You know, it's like anything. If you take the time and you research it and you understand start to finish what the instruction is, what its purpose is, you know, why you're trying to do what you're doing, and what the end goal is, what you're looking to achieve, which all of painless instructions give you all of that information. They tell you what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what the purpose of it's going to be, what your end goal is going to be. If you follow those to the T, you're not going to screw it up. It's
No,
that simple.
You won't. You will
And
not.
that goes to, I mean, even do-it-yourselfers, just guys in the garage on a weekend. Just take the time. Don't just get excited and rip the box open and then grab the wiring out of it and not care about the rest. Take the time and pull this stuff out, set it aside, read everything first, then start doing your install.
Then start putting your installation
Yeah.
together. I know Dennis is going to get up on the road to Daytona, Bub. We are going to be starting a weekly feature, and we're going to be doing some electrical things on the podcast, doing it Bubba style, as heard on the Bubba's Exotic Motorsports Network through Blog Talk Radio. And Dennis is going to be putting together a series of tech seminars that we're going to be doing. And this will be your time to call in and talk to the master, the guru himself. It's not over your head. He's very down to earth, and it's very explainable and understandable in all ways, Bub.
Yeah.
So Dennis will be, this week, Dennis is on the road at the Jeep event in Daytona. So the following week, we'll start the painless segments on the show.
Okay.
And we will be doing some seminars and things like that with you. I have asked Dennis to join us at Supercar Week on Bubba's Boulevard, which to come out and meet him in person is a really, really, really cool thing, because he's always the guy who takes the time to talk with you.
Always, yeah. Yeah, always.
Always takes the time to talk with you. So, Bub, we're going to let Dennis get on the road to Daytona. I wanted everybody to meet him. He always stops by when he's in the area and spends some time with us. We're blessed. It's been 10 amazing years with Painless Performance. There's only one place to go. That is painlessperformance.com. And what is the number, Dennis? Could you please give everybody to the home office there?
Well, the tech line is 800-423-9696. But if you need to get hold of somebody in accounting or sales or whatever, then it's 817-244-6212.
Okay, 6212. Right on, man. Right on. So, Bub, I'm very excited to announce the new segment we'll be bringing you with Painless Performance. It's going to be very good. We're going to be doing a lot of tech stuff with you guys. We're going to be answering a lot of questions and things like
Which
that.
is good too. I mean, a lot of people out there, you know, they don't have an understanding of circuits. And a lot of people really, I don't want to dumb it down, but a lot of people overcomplicate it and they don't understand, you know, what it takes to just make a simple thing work. You know, I'm not Thomas Edison here, but I know how to turn a freaking light bulb on.
Yeah, how about that? I just go up and use the switch.
Right, I know, but you would have no idea what to do if that switch stopped flicking and doing what you wanted.
Well, the head unit stops working.
Everything stops
We'll
working.
also be doing some stuff like, let's say you've already got your car running and so forth, and you want to upgrade a bigger alternator or those type of things. So we'll get into that, you know, what
Yes, we
kind
will.
to put on, you know, going to add on some accessories. We'll get into all those types of discussions.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
hopefully we can help some folks out.
We will.
And those are big time good tips too, Dennis, because there's a lot of guys out there again in this world, whether you're do-it-yourselfers or other big builders in the industry that don't understand, you know, if you start putting in all these other accessories, power locks, power windows, granted, they're all very small items. They draw very little current, but all of that adds up. And before you know it, you're blowing fuses all the time.
And we'll
you're
be
thinking
talking
stuff
about
is
that.
going wrong. Your batteries are dead. When your audio's on, your volt gauge is dropping. You can't understand why it's going from 14.5 to 12. Your lights are dimming at nighttime. There's a lot of the stuff that matters all about your gauge wire and what you're using, all your components, and what it can handle.
It's pretty technical, Bub.
It is.
And it's going to be a very exciting tech segment to each of the shows. So we'll keep you informed. That'll be starting next week on the podcast at 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. Sales at BubbasExoticMotorsports.com. You can send your questions in. I'll have them preset for Dennis when he calls in, and we'll be asking you people's questions live.
I'll be calling in. I'll be in Texas next month,
That's
so
right.
I'll be home. So
Absolutely.
we'll talk to some folks and get some.
Have some fun
questions
stuff going on all the way
Absolutely.
around the
That'd be
world.
fun.
So
Absolutely.
we'll do it. So ladies and gentlemen, I wanted you to meet the guru himself. Not many people get to see him outside of him being out on the road. And I wanted you to spend some time getting to know him personally. Wonderful man. best product in the world. Bub puts his personal seal of approval on it. I just melt things down. What do you think?
Of course, of course.
How about
You either
that?
melt them or just cut it in half.
That's exactly right. Dennis, I can't thank you enough for joining us here live on the set for the world to see. You're the world to us. You're an amazing sponsor, man.
It's always great to be here, you know, every time, just like you said, if I'm in the area, I'm gonna stop here.
Thank you, man. I
And
really appreciate
appreciate it, all that you guys do as well.
We think the world of you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dennis Overholser from Painless Performance. That's painlessperformance.com. But it is Bubba's choice, man. You won't go anywhere else. Painless is auto electric done Bubba style. Bubba, we're going to let you jump out of here. I know you've got to get some wiring done with the Painless Performance lineup. Yeah, you got to get back on this 35.
As long as I don't go hang myself with some 14 gauge painless wire, we'll be all right.
I think that's what
It's all
Aaron.
full hot.
I think that's what Aaron Hernandez said. Even our producer's laughing over here.
Oh,
Ladies and
man.
gentlemen, hey Bub, until tomorrow.
Just keep on doing it, Bubba style.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll step aside. I'll answer your Facebook questions here shortly because I know there's a bunch of them. Make sure you set out to touch somebody's life in a positive way today. If somebody's hungry, please feed them. If there's a hole in their shoes, put a pair of shoes on their feet. You know what? Open the door for an elder. Just do something nice for somebody today. Stay tuned for the amazing Ferrari coming in. That'll be here tomorrow. Bro.
Hey, get
It'll
ready.
actually be here at 1 o'clock today. It's on the way down from Orlando right now. Dennis, God bless you. Thank you
You
for
bet.
being
You
part of
bet.
the Bubba's family. We really
Thank you, Dennis.
appreciate it. We're going to get out of here. Until tomorrow, keep on doing it Bubba style.
Have a great day.
So Bub, let's get back into wiring this thing. Step over here on it.